Okay, again, remember that clearance is the amount of plasma from which a substance is completely removed per unit of time. Again, it is not the amount of drug, but the amount of plasma. What is again the unit of your clearance? Is volume per time, that is ml per minute, not drug concentration per time. Now, how do we compute your clearance? How do we compute again your clearance? How to compute your clearance? Okay, let me open a new note for that. How do you compute for a clearance? Okay, in order to compute your rate of your clearance is computed as the elimination rate divided by the remaining drug. Okay, divided by the remaining drug. What does it mean, sir, if there is a low clearance? Okay, what does it mean if there is a low clearance? Low clearance what? Low clearance means, what does it mean? Low clearance means there is a low drug. There's a low drug lost, okay, in the urine. Low drug lost in the urine. In the drug, sorry. In the urine. In the drug addict. In the urine, okay? In the urine. Therefore, more drug remains in the body. So since there's a low drug loss in the urine, therefore, what does it mean? More drug remains in the body. More drug remains in the body. Remains in the body. Remains in the body. Let me give you an illustration, class. Okay, like for example, if you pee 40 milligram per hour in urine, then you have a 20 milligram per ml. 20 milligram per ml that remains. You'll have 2 ml per hour. 2 ml per hour of a clearance. Okay, of a clearance. And how about, sir, your high clearance? Okay, what does it mean? Okay, high clearance means, what does it mean? Okay, it means that there is a high, okay, high drug lost in the urine. High drug loss in the urine, meaning there is a less drug remains in the body. Less drug in the body. Less drug in the body. Less drug in the body. An example of your high clearance, okay, which means that there's a high drug loss in the urine and less drug in the body. If you pee 120 milligram, okay, 120 milligram per hour in the urine, and the remaining is 20 milligram per ml remains. Okay, you'll get what? 6 ml per hour. That's how you calculate your clearance. And as I've said to the previous video class, your clearance is used to calculate your maintenance dose. How long it takes to get into the steady state would depends on the concept of what? It would depends on the concept, which is a very, very, very important concept that every nurse should know. What about that concept, class? The concept of your half-life. The concept of your half-life. Okay, as you can see, class, your half-life is defined as the time that is required for 1/2 of a given amount of drug in the body to be removed, and is measured at rate at which the drug is eliminated from the body. Ano daw? Parang gulo naman. Okay. Ulitin natin. Half-life is defined as the time required for 1/2 of a given amount of drug in the body to be removed and is measured at the rate at which the drug is eliminated from the body. In short, class, your half-life is actually the amount of time that is required to lower the concentration of the drug by half. Ganun lang kasimple yan, class. Okay? It is the time required for drug concentration to be reduced by 50%. Okay, yun yung tinatawag po natin na half-life. O, isulat nyo dyan, class. Your half-life is the time, okay, it is indicated by the symbol T, 1/2. Okay, what is a half-life? Half-life, okay, is described as the time required pasimplihin natin, class. Time required for drug concentration to be reduced, okay, to be reduced by what? To be reduced by 50%, or simply the amount of time required to lower the concentration of the drug by half. Okay? O para mas madali. Okay, para mas madali. Your half-life. Okay, what about your half-life, sir? Your half-life. Half-life is actually the amount. It is the amount of time. That is what? That is required to lower. The concentration, of the drug by half. By what? By half. Okay, so mga keyword nyo dyan, class, half-life, amount of time required to lower concentration of drug by half or by 50%. Okay, so that is your half-life. So assuming we're in a steady state, because your half-life can be used when to reach your steady state and when drug cleared, when the drug cleared into the body. So, pwedeng gamitin ang half-life, class, to reach a steady state or when the drug cleared into the, it's already cleared into the body. So, assuming we're in a steady state, if we're going to discontinue the drug after 1/2 of drug, 50% will be cleared. Okay, illustrate natin. Para mas ma-appreciate nyo, illustrate natin, class. Illustrate natin. Graph lang naman to. Okay, illustrate natin. Kung hindi ka na nga straight, sir, pati pa ba naman pag-drawing mo hindi straight? Charat! 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is your concentration. Okay, ito yung ating concentration. Okay, your concentration. And this is your half-lives, of course. Okay, this is your half-lives. Okay, we have your 1. Okay, wait nga lang, class. I am not satisfied with my drawing, with what I've drawn. Diyos ko naman, sir. Hindi ka na nga straight. Pati pa ba naman yung line mo hindi straight? Pasensya. Perfect. Okay, so we have 1 half-life. Okay, we have your 1 half-life. We have your 2 half-life, your 3 half-life, your 4 half-life, and your 5th half-life. Okay. So this is your, again, anong sabi ko kanina dyan? That is your half-lives. Okay, your half-lives. Okay, now. So na, ayun. Okay. Assuming we're in a steady state. Kasi nga, di ba, ang half-life natin, it can be used when to reach the steady state and when drug is cleared into the body. Remember? Okay. Assuming we're on your steady state. O, assume we're on a steady state. Let's assume. Parang nung pag-assume mo kayo, na feeling mo kayo pala, hindi pala. Charot. Okay? Let's assume, okay, we're in a steady state. Okay, what happens when we assume when you're steady state? Assuming we're in a steady state, if the drug is discontinued, if we discontinue your drug, okay, if we stop the drug, okay, stop the drug, if we discontinue the drug class, what happens? One half, okay, one half of drug, okay, one half of drug, or 50% will be cleared, okay, will be cleared after if we discuss after one half of drug, 50% will be cleared. So after 2, 75% of the drug will be cleared. After 3, 87.5% will be cleared of the drug will be cleared. After 4, 93.75%. After 5, 96.875% of drug, okay, of drug will be cleared. Of drug will be cleared. Of drug will be cleared. So, actually, ganyan yung illustration natin dito. Drug will be... ayan, okay? So, the steady state. Assuming we're in steady state, if we discontinue, okay, after one half of drug, 50% will be cleared. So after 2, 75%. After 3, 87.5 rather. After 4, 93.75. After 5, 96.875% of drug will be cleared. Okay, it will be cleared. And remember that your half-life, it can be also flipped. Okay, if it can be also flipped. What do you mean, sir? It can be also be flipped. If we start with nothing. Ito kasi, if we stop or discontinue the drug. If we start with nothing, okay, if we start with nothing, let me illustrate that, class. Okay, let me illustrate. If we start with nothing, okay, if we start with nothing, ayun, perfect, ang galing. Ay, natuwa sa sariling drawing. Concentration. Okay? So, this is your half-life, 2, half-life, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So, ito po yung ating half-lives. Okay? Your half-lives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, if we start with nothing, so this is not a steady state, class. If we start with nothing, okay, start with nothing, it will take about 5 half-lives before the drug will reach the optimal serum concentration. So, half-life can be used to calculate when we reach the steady state and when the drug is removed from the body. So, this will predict what happens to the drug when either clearance of volume of distribution are affected. Okay? So, pwede kasing mag-flip yan, class. Okay? Pwedeng mag-flip. Okay? Ibig sabihin, pwedeng paganyan. Diba? Ang perfect. Okay? If we start with nothing, it will take about, ilan? 5 half-lives. Actually, 5 to 6 yan. Okay? 5 to 6 half-lives before, okay, 5 to 6 half-lives before the drug, okay, before the drug will reach, okay, before the drug will reach your optimal, okay, serum concentration, okay, your serum concentration. Okay, so that is the illustration. Let me further illustrate, okay, about your half-life class. Remember again the concept of your half-life. What is your half-life? That is the amount of time required to lower the concentration of the drug by half. Let me further illustrate it, class. Ganito, para mas madali nating maintindihan. Tataas lang natin, class, ha? Okay. Figure. Si sir na mahilig sa figure. Okay, so ayan. Imagine. Okay. Imagine this is your 0 half-life. What does this represent, class? Okay, what does this represent? Okay, remember, okay, this represents, nakikita yung 0 dyan, class. Okay, this represents what? It represents the amount. Okay, it represents the amount of drug, in the body, amount of drug in the body when we first measure it. When we first measure it. So we start with 0. So when we start with 0. Okay, when we start with 0. Okay, so it started with your 0. So what does this represents? Again, the amount of drug, okay, in the body when we first measure it. So that is the first. Okay, now furthermore, class, look at this image, class. Kailangan yung sundin to, class. Ako naman si mahilig sa figure, mahilig sa image. Okay, so we started with 0. Kasi ganoon naman tayo magbilang, di ba? Magsisimula tayo sa 0. How about, sir? Okay, your 1/2. Okay, 1/2. 1 pala, sorry. Okay, 1. Okay, half-life. So, if the half-life of a drug, assuming, okay, if the half-life of a drug, okay, if the half-life of a drug is 1 hour. Half-life of a drug is 1 hour. Anong ibig sabihin nun, class? Anong ibig sabihin? If the half-life of a drug is 1 hour, what does it mean? It means that after 1 hour, half. Guys, you have to go back to the concept of your half-life. What is the description or definition of your half-life? It is the amount of time required to lower the concentration of the drug by half or 50%. So, ibig sabihin, if the half-life of a drug is 1 hour, after 1 hour, half of the drug has been eliminated. Half of the drug has been eliminated. It has been eliminated. Susundan nyo yan. And then, continue natin. Mahaba to, class, sa drawing. Ayan. How about, sir, if we are on your second half-life? What does it mean? Okay, anong ibig sabihin, class, kapag nasa second half after 2 half-lives na tayo? Ito kanina, kung ang half-life niya ay 1 hour, what does it mean? After 1 hour, half of the drug has been eliminated. So, what happens, class, after 2 half-lives? Ano mangyayari after 2 half-lives? Very good. After 2 half-lives, what happens? The amount of drug in the body is half of half. Kasi dito, 1/2. Okay? Half-life. Hatiin mo pa ng hatiin. After 2 half-lives, what happens next? After 2 half-lives, the amount of drug in the body is half of half. After 2 half-lives, the amount of drug in the body, tataas ko lang, class, wait lang. Okay, in the body is what? Amount of drug in the body is what? Is half of half. Half of half. Or 1/4. Or 1/4. Or 1/4. Or in other words, class, if the half-life of a drug is 1 hour, kung ang half-life ng drug ay 1 hour, then after 2 hours, 3/4 of the drug has been already eliminated. Yun yung ibig sabihin nun. Kasi dito, class, after 1 hour, half of the drug has been eliminated. Dito, dalawang half-lives na yan eh. So, ibig sabihin, amount ng drug sa katawan mo is half of half or 1/4. Or in short, if the half-life of a drug ay 1 hour, after 2 hours, 3/4 na po ng drug ang natatanggal sa katawan ng tao. Okay, katawan mo. Okay, after 2 hours, 3/4 of the drug has been eliminated. Nakukuha ba natin? Yes, sir. Thank you. Nakukuha niyo, class? Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, number 4. Okay, how about, sir, ituloy po natin. Okay, kaya nang sasagot niyan. After 2, ngayon naman pumunta tayo dito. After 3 half-lives, what happens, class? After 3 half-lives, what do you think is the amount of the drug in the body? Yes, after... Asan na yan? After 3 half-lives, the amount of what? The amount, okay? The amount of drug. The amount of drug in the body. Amount of drug in the body is what? Is half of half of half. Or in short, ano? Hatiin mo yung 1/4. Edi 1/8. Ano ba? Okay, 1/8. In other words, if the half-life of a drug again is 1 hour, then after 3 hours, 7/8 of the drug has been eliminated. Nakukuha? Yes, very good. Okay, ituloy po natin. Okay, ituloy po natin number 5. So, parang inulit ko lang yung graph ko kanina. Ito, inisa-isa ko lang. Okay, number 5. Okay. Illustrate natin. Okay. Ika-4. What does this mean? Okay. After 4 half-lives. Ano nang ibig sabihin yan, class? After 4 half-lives. Ano nang ibig sabihin yan? After 4 half-lives, the amount of drug in the body is hatiin mo ang 1/8. Okay? The amount of drug in the body. Amount of drug in the body is what? Is 1. Di ba mahilig ka naman maglaro dato ng appear tayo. 1/2, 1/4. Ganon. 1/8, 1/16. Charat. Hindi ko pala alam. Okay? O, ayan. After 4 half-lives, the amount of drug in the body is 1/16. So, if the half-life of a drug, in other words, is if the half-life of a drug is 1 hour, then after 4 hours, 16 of the drug has been eliminated. Okay, has been eliminated. You have to take note, class. Okay, you have to take note. This is very, very important. Okay, this is very, very important to take note. Why, class? Okay, you have to remember this, class, that after 5 or 6 half-lives, after 5 or 6 half-lives, the drug is considered, I might ask this in your exam, after 5 or 6 half-lives, the drug is considered completely eliminated. Okay, current double na. Completely eliminated. Okay? Again, you have to take note. After 5 or 6 half-lives, the drug is considered completely eliminated. Okay, so yun. Okay, yun yung explanation ng graph ng isa-isa. Di ba? Okay? So the drug half-life, it means the rate of elimination by definition is determined by concentration. So as the concentration goes down, the rate of elimination also goes down. Okay? Drugs with a half-life is eliminated. That's the first order process. So what is again the purpose? What is again the purpose? Ano ang purpose again ng tinatawag natin na half-life? What is again the purpose of your half-life? Nasabi ko na yan kanina, inuulit ko lang. Purpose of your half-life, it helps to determine the dosage and frequency needed for administration of different drugs. Okay? It helps, help determine the dosage, help determine the dosage, help determine the dosage and frequency. Dosage and frequency needed. Frequency needed for administration. Needed for administration of different drugs, of your different drugs. Remember, class, there are certain drugs that lalo na if a drug has a long half-life, it may need to be administered only once a day or vice versa. Like for example, class, okay, ano ba yung mga gamot, okay, mga gamot talaga, long half-life. Ano ba yung mga gamot na merong long half-life? Digoxin, okay? Digoxin, okay, usually your digoxin can be eliminated at 36 hours Okay, 36 hours to be eliminated. So, matagal, okay, bago siya ma-eliminate sa katawan. Okay, the examples, so your digoxin, sabi ko nga kanina, if a drug has a long half-life, it may need to be administered only once a day or vice versa. If a drug has a short half-life, tulad ng mga aspirin, okay, your aspirin, okay, at 5 hours usually, okay, to be administered every what? Alam nyo naman yan, to be administered every what? Every 4 hours. To be administered every 4 hours. Or every what? 6 hours. Bakit? In order to maintain its therapeutic effect. Kasi nga, nai-eliminate yan, may short half-life siya. So, in short, what is the purpose of your half-life? The purpose of your half-life, yung binanggit ko kanina, ay dalawa. Okay, what is the purpose of your half-life again? Okay, half-life can be used to what? To determine, okay, to determine when to reach. To determine when to reach steady state. When to reach your steady state. And what? Number 2, in order to what? In order to determine or calculate when drug, okay, is cleared into the body. Is eliminated or cleared into the body. So that is the concept of your half-life. Computation of your half-life will be discussed in the next video. Thank you.